S.L.A.M. Music Survival Guide. Welcome to the Garden State. The band Rahway are here. 3/4 of them are calling in from their cars. We've got Nick on vocals, David and Steve on guitar and drums, and Tim, a.k.a. Chigger, on bass. Quote from this episode: "You're definitely in charge of your own happiness, you know? If you're not going to be happy, nobody's going to get you happy." Things got a little heated right there, didn't they? Keep listening to find out who said it and what it's all about.
All right, this is Jack Mangan here from Support Life and Music, S.L.A.M. We're talking today with a band out of New Jersey called Rahway, and this is the most New Jersey thing ever because we got a couple of them in their cars, which is a total New Jersey thing. But yeah, let's start it out. We'll go through the guys in Rahway. So let's talk to Nick. What's up, Nick?
How are you? Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks for being on. You're the vocalist, if we have it right.
I'm one of the vocalists.
Yeah. Okay. And then we've got the Cardenas brothers. We got David.
How you doing?
There he is. Hey, David. Thanks. In the car, of course. And then we got Steve Cardenas.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And then Chigger on bass. What's up, Chigger?
What's up, Jack? How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Well, yeah, thanks again, you guys, for taking this time to talk. Well, let's say I'm going to harp on the Jersey thing for a bit because that's where I'm from. So talk to us about, like, and you guys, obviously it's in your logo, and and you're named after Rahway. Your name, it's right there in the name. So, and my buddy Rich Catino and I've read another program I've been involved with, Metal Asylum. We did a whole bunch of shows where we talked to a bunch of New Jersey artists about New Jersey metal, New Jersey music, New Jersey rock. Like, talk to me about what it means to you guys to be a New Jersey band, and I don't know, all of it. Like, whoever wants to start, grab it and go.
Go ahead, Steve.
Dave, you want to go?
No, I don't want to talk about New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're definitely a Jersey band. We've been on the scene for a while. I used to write a column called North Jersey Notes in the Aquarian. And then I became friends with the Cardenas brothers long time ago. I was playing in a band called Smokestar, and Something Just, and then me and Dave and Steve we just hit it off from day one. We had the same sense of humor. We used to make fun of people. We used to make fun of each other, and then time went on, and their original bass player Bobby had left the band, and Dave wanted to put a side project together, so we started working on that. And then he plays me some of the Rahway stuff, and I go, "Who the hell's your singer?" He's like, "This is some kid Nick that we found in like the mean streets of like Tinton Falls, something like that." and I was like, "Wow, this song's great." It was a song called Yesterday, and he had me hooked. And he goes, "Listen," he's like, "My bass player's leaving. He's like, we could really use you. You're not doing anything." What was I doing right? I don't think I was doing anything but playing on a side project with Dave and writing some new music. And we took those songs and incorporated it into Rahway. I auditioned for the band. Steve actually promised me some sexual favors, but never. I still have to cash in on that. But at the time, the music scene was just stagnant. Jersey had a huge music scene back in the day. We had Studio One, like Escapades and Obsessions, and all those cool clubs. And now it's like nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Did I just lose you?
No.
The video froze up.
There was just a large pause of air because there's nothing.
Yeah, Jersey kind of died a little bit, so a lot bit.
Yeah, Jersey definitely changed. As far as demographic too, I feel like a lot of the rock heads must have gone somewhere else, because when we leave Jersey, like we'll pull a bunch of people out to shows in Jersey, but when we leave Jersey, it's like night and day. It's like, it's kind of strange, but I guess it's because people from Jersey are used to Jersey, so when we bring Jersey out of state, that shit, so they get a little bit of Jersey attitude.
The support system's kind of gone too, because like we had people are sick of seeing us. I guess we oversaturated the market. So like Nick said, when we go out of state, people are hearing our music for the first time, and they're like, "Whoa, what's this?"
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
It's Jersey, it's Jersey attitude. But well, let me I got two places to go with that. So, well, you guys actually just recently, I saw you guys played out west. You were with the Bullet Boys, right? The whiskey, like talk.
Yeah.
That's a crazy experience for any rock band, like to go to a historic place like that. Let me talk a little bit about your West Coast trip.
It was
It was a
awesome.
lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of
It was
debauchery. No debauchery whatsoever. It was just us, like five us and our crew, and we just had a blast, right, guys?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was Los Angeles is completely a different world.
Yeah, but a
But
lot
it
of
was
other things happen too, though, like getting locked out of the car with the keys inside of
yeah.
it.
There's
And
video of
things like
that.
that.
There's
And
video.
we actually played the whiskey, but we drove to Vegas too, and we were hanging out on Fremont Street. Oh, Steve was a homeless guy.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh no, and then after that, they tried to get money out of him. Like these two, what are they called? Dominatrix.
Dominatrix.
They're doing their whole thing, and they're like, "You come over here," and Steve's like, "Okay," and so, so it gets to the point where they're like, put his hands out, and he's like pulling the rabbit ears out of his pockets,
Yeah, they tied me, whipped me, did everything, and the minute they found out I had no money, get out of here. Get lost.
I mean, for a lot of our crew, I mean, that was the first time they were out in LA, so it was like really cool to see them experience that for the first time. For us, it was an experience being on the same stage of the guys that we
yes.
grew up listening to, like Motley Crue, and then sharing a stage with Mark, and the rest of the Bullet Boys guys.
Yeah.
It was cool. We got to see the Motley Crue house down the street. So that was really awesome. We ate at the Rainbow, which is something we've always wanted to do as a band. That was cool. We almost made Steve pay for his own dinner. You know,
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was good. It was an honor. It was an honor to play the whiskey, and we made friends at the Rainbow.
Dave
We
talking.
walked by the
I
rocks.
guess.
We just had a lot of fun, and it was good. We were welcomed and
Yeah.
appreciated it. And it was just they
well, the
ate
only
us
ones
up
that
and they loved it.
didn't welcome at the Airbnb.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
There. That's all right.
The hazards of
We got
life.
stranded. We got stranded with no Airbnb.
Oh no.
Yeah. But
That's what
all in
us
all, it
for
worked
an
out.
hour.
So
It all worked out, though. At the end of it all worked out.
Always does.
yeah. All right. Well, hey, so guys, this is the portion of the program where we all talk shit about Larry Jones. So I'll start.
Oh yeah. Sure. Good.
Yeah, that fucking guy. I'm telling you.
He's
He's always taking his clothes off.
But no, but seriously, he is a great human being. So like it's awesome, you guys. What you guys have been with Larry as your manager for a long time, and talk a little bit about that dynamic. I mean, and feel free to talk shit about him too, but like talk about the dynamic of having a manager who's in your corner and someone that you rely on for that kind of stuff.
He's been my ride. He's been my ride or die for like I don't know, 25 years, 20 years. I met him when he was just a kid, probably when you hung out with him.
Yeah.
But man, I've never seen anybody who cared so much, who pushes so much, who fights so much for us, stands up for us. With promoters, for anybody that's trying to screw us around, he's always got our back. He takes care of so much, like booking and accommodations, the travel. Sometimes he complains the whole way, but he wouldn't have it any other way because he loves doing it, and he's pretty much our fifth member.
He's a
like
fifth
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got into the band, Larry was the man. He's been managing this band, and me and him hit it off right away. I was actually invited to his wedding, and I didn't even like go because I was like I felt bad because I was like I just joined this band. I can't really go to his wedding. And then but he's like a brother now. Like me and him, we speak almost every single day. Me, him, and Dave pretty much handle most of the business with this band. So I'm on calls with Larry constantly, and if I'm pissed at Dave or pissed at Steve or pissed at Nick, I'll go right to Larry and be like, "You believe these fucking guys?"
Mhm.
Oh, can I curse?
Yeah.
I curse about.
Yeah.
But Larry's the guy that usually fixes all that. You know, if they're mad at me or if I'm mad at them, you know, he's the buffer
The voice
and
of reason.
and the fluffer sometimes.
I only remember fluffing. I don't remember much about the buffing.
Yeah, but he's got a good head for business, and it's good to have him on our side for sure.
Yes.
I see what you're thinking, Nick. So I mean, I guess for everyone out there watching, you know, like this is good. What you need in a manager, I think, is, you know, we're talking crap about Larry Jones is the manager for the band Rahway, but you know that I love hearing you say that. This is he got a good head for business and taking care of stuff, and almost like another member of the band. Like that's
Yeah.
all
Oh,
very important.
he can be a complete jerk off too. He's like our Peter Grant.
Yeah,
He's definitely.
Well, you need that
Doc
too.
McGee. He's our Doc McGee.
You need
But
that though, right?
he's so
Yeah,
busy that
100%.
he actually brought in we brought in a guy named Sean who's been handling a lot of our social media, and him and Larry work. They're like this together. He does a lot of the photography at our shows. Him and Larry kind of split it up. They work really really well together, and people are jealous of them.
Right.
Yeah, it's just great. We got good people on our team, man. We have a great family team.
Yeah.
Down to the road crew, down to Sean with the social media, Larry with what he does, and Larry's always in there with the media as well as managing the band and the guys and telling us what to do and where we got to be, and just our team is outstanding. I can't say enough.
Definitely.
I'm glad you
Many
said
hands
that.
make light work.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys brought that up because, you know, people sometimes will ask me about that. I'm like, you know, and I love the Henry Rollins quote, which I'm not going to say verbatim, but basically, like, those guys work harder than, you know, saying to musicians, those guys building stage and doing all that stuff, they work harder than you, you know, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
so it's great that, you know, you call out your team, the whole team, not just fucking Larry.
Oh yeah.
Respect Canada.
Yeah, Larry, I'm kidding you, man. Love you, buddy. So, well, all right, let's talk about it. You guys have a new album. Like that should be, you know, first and foremost. Let's tell the rest of the world. I've heard it. It's great rock and roll. Tell the rest of the world what we got, what they're in store for to listen to the new stuff.
Gentlemen,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
All right. Well, I mean, the whole album it's like a giant emotional roller coaster. There's so many different vibes in it, and there's so many different things that these songs have been already compared to. I mean, for example, like we have one song, Stone. Some people like it just because of the riffs that Dave threw in there. You know, like it's got like a Velvet Revolver, Slither kind of vibe to it, but it's obviously different because it's Rahway. You know, not Velvet Revolver, but you know, like there's like a lot of different ways that you can also interpret many of these songs because some of the songs were written a certain way, but due to the way that like the songs feel and the lyrics and the way we write them, you know, a lot of these things are kind of open ended where you could take it however you want to. I mean, we might have had a concise idea on certain songs as to where we were going with it, but like you know, realistically, all music is just it's personal to each person. You know, it's very like opinionated. You know,
Sub,
when you say
sub, it's like art. You know, it's like it's subjective.
yeah, a lot of it has to do with rising up though. Like it's like we know this world is trash, right? Like and you know, but we try to provide a silver lining and give energy and uplift people at the same time with it. Like hey, we're here. We know that things might not be that great in life, but you know what? Like if there's a will, there's a way. You know, like a lot of us have been through some crazy things in our lifetimes. Like I've almost died 12 times already. You know, I've been surrounded by 30 people with knives. I've had all sorts of stuff happen. Dave's had stuff happen. Chig's had stuff happen. Steve, Jesus Christ, Steve. I mean, this man, I can't even tell you half the shit. I mean, I know a few things that have happened. One time his brakes failed as he's rolling down. He's going down a hill, went right into a guardrail, was smashed like every damn bone in his body, including the big ones that hurt really bad. You know, he recovered from that. You know, like there's so many things that we've all been through, and what we do is we take that and we put it into the music and try to throw lore out and say, hey, have you been through some shit? Do you also think this world's not quite right? Are you not happy with the way things are going?
Yeah.
And we'll say them part out. You know, we were in that interview today. We were talking about carry you at one point. You know, it's kind of like carry you is like somebody talking shit to you all the time, like, oh yeah, because you need me around and this and that and the other one and all that. But in the end, you're the one who ends up carrying them. You know, it's like, how about I carry you? You know, it's like, you know, it's what you're thinking, what most people think, but we say the silent part out loud. You know.
Yeah. Nick's right. I mean, it's mostly an emotional roller coaster, this record. Starting out with some really heavy, like, you know, in your face type stuff. But then we throw in some ballads in there, like Sugar and You Ought to Know. But like these two brothers that are to the right of me, I mean the left of me or whatever, they're really talented musicians. They're really talented songwriters, and I'm happy that they asked me to be a part of this journey because they're Dave might be one of the best guitar players I ever played with, and I never thought I'd say that, but you know, after being in the studio with him, um, amazing. And me and Steve just lock in. You know, that rhythm section. We just been able to lock in. I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to do it because their bass player before me was really, really, really good. But you know,
I had
we made
faith in you. And you know what? I gotta agree. Like, well, I'm also happy and grateful that that I was invited to audition. You know, what was it, like 10 years ago? You know, and that I nailed it, and that you guys accepted me, because a lot of my lifelong dreams I've already achieved. You know, because of Rahway. You know, playing on stages. You know, with household names. You know, we've done shows at the Tropicana Grand Showroom with Seven Dust. We've done festivals with Five Finger Death Punch, Megadeth, Godsmack, blah blah blah. You know, we've done all these crazy things. We traveled to Hollywood. We went to Vegas. We went out Midwest to Battle Creek, Michigan, and Detroit, and all over. You know, on a tour with another band. You know, like we've done so much stuff, and I'm definitely grateful. You know, I'm looking forward to see what else is in the pipeline. But you know, at the same time, if you're always focusing on what's out there and over there and up there, you're going to miss everything around you. You're going to miss the whole ride. And that's kind of what it's all about, you know?
I've heard that
also,
somewhere
Dave
before.
is an awesome guitarist. Dave is definitely an awesome guitarist. I got to say that there's a certain point where a lot of guitarists hit this plateau where they end up they learn how to do the taps, they learn how to do the pinch harmonic squeals and have, like, flip the switches real silently and all this other stuff. But like Dave has something that not a lot of guitarists I feel I feel a lot of guitarists are missing what Dave has. Dave has this feel, like this I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna play some fucking awesome, tasty shit, and I'll shove it in here. I'll shove it over there. But everything he does is like so like it feels like it's raw and emotional, but I feel like it's also calculated by like certain things, like certain songs. While he's writing certain parts or laying them down in the studio with Mike Orlando at Sonic Stomp, it's like he'll layer certain things, but he'll also be thinking about the show and how he's playing it live while he's recording it. He'll be like, all right, well, at this point, I'll pull off the main riff and I'll do lead right here, and then the bass will fill in and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this man's like playing chess with this shit, like 40 moves ahead. It's like, it's
like
refreshing too, though, that everybody is on the same page, because sometimes, you're always doing 95% of the lifting in a band or in a project or at work or wherever. And everybody else is just slacking off, leaving you to handle everything. Oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. And then you have to grab everything by the reins. And it's so much harder when it's just one person. That's why before I was like, yo, I'm grateful that we have like 9, 10 people, this Voltron effect with Rahway, because it's part of the reason why we've made it so far. We weren't boxing people out and being like, fuck you, you're not cool enough to be with us. No, we're inclusive. We're when we say we're like a family, welcome to the family reunion, we really are. Like if I saw somebody fucking with one of our roadies during the show, I will say, fuck the song. I'll drop kick the motherfucker right in their chest. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Monkey.
I'm pretty sure
I'm coming at you like a spider monkey.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you guys off. I just had to get all that shit out.
Headbangers, how are you? I'm super. Thanks for asking. Mike Gobby, Headbangers. Listen to me on 94.9 and 104.5, The Pick, at pickidaho.com. Yeah, I'm in Arizona, and it broadcasts out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. Idaho, Udaho, out of pimp. But you can stream it and tap that app, pickidaho.com. And don't forget about S.L.A.M. Da-da-da. Da-da-da, let the boys be boys. No, not that S.L.A.M. That's a hip-hop song. Yes, I know hip-hop. So, anyway, yes, support S.L.A.M.
I like the Voltron effect. Yeah, but all right. Well, I mean, definitely. I don't
Nice.
want to move on if you guys have more to say. Because
Things got a little heat. Things got a little heated right there, didn't it?
Yeah,
seriously.
It escalated really fast.
That moves
I know.
that,
I bring that out in people. That's just me. But no, go ahead, you guys. Like like I said, definitely. If you have more to say about the album, like I said, I know this is a huge deal for you guys. It's a landmark. It's such a big deal.
veered off. We've veered
No,
off.
no, you're all good, man. This is what it's all about. But yeah, go on. Like, feel free.
The most important thing, I mean, and well, it's not the most important thing, but the thing that makes me feel that proud of the guys, is that, we put in the work. We sat in those chairs and we rearranged everything and formatted it and went over it again and omitted parts and added parts and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then getting into the studio with Mike, who's like my therapist, and laying it all down, and then like Nick was saying, just to spin off of him, like me and him just like back and forth, and I'd spend hours in the studio with him at the console, man, just like moving things around and thinking about how it's going to work, and like he said, like the chess game, and when it's all said and done, and after the CD's out, and then it's in the cellophane wrapper and all that good shit, and you have the box in your hand, and everybody's happy. We look at them, and you look at them, and then they start streaming, and then the guy, Larry and Sean, they put out the numbers in our group chat, like, this is what we did this week, and this is where we're at this point. And you look at all them numbers, man, and I'm looking at them, and man, correct me if I'm wrong, man, but there's over 300,000, 400,000 streams. That means that we did our job. We did the best that we could at that point in time, and obviously we could always go back and you'll change a song forever, but people liked it, or they loved it, or they shared it with a friend and turned somebody else on. Those numbers mean the world to me. That means that the creation that we built as a team, people actually cared about it. It's far too often that I go to a club, and I hear the same band. Like we'll be in Vegas or in Los Angeles or Michigan or Florida or Maryland or Rhode Island, and I'll walk into another club that we're playing, and I'm like, didn't we just play with this band last week? It's the same band every time I see. But like what and I guess it's a pet peeve of mine. What aggravates me is they're always handing out their CDs to everybody. Like, hey, here you go. Hey, check my band out. And I'm like, man, you went through all that stuff that I just went to make this CD happen, and you're just willing to hand it away. Nah. If you like the band, you buy it.
Yep.
We put too much into it, and people are buying it. And it just overwhelms my heart with joy that people are accepting and loving and joining out, jumping on the ship with us, and becoming family members. Like, it's working. It's working.
You know what happens when people buy the CDs or merchandise, they tend to not use it as coasters, or ends up on the floor at the end of the night. You know?
Or in a glove box, or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like you bought it. Now you're gonna use it.
I paid for it. It's going in the rack.
Yeah.
At least listen to it one time.
One of the cool things for me, I don't know about the rest of the guys, but for me, when we were on stage and I actually see people actually singing like the choruses back to us, it's like wow, how do you know these words? I'm like,
Yeah.
you're just probably seeing us, but that just shows that our hooks are so catchy that they're actually singing the words back to us. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. It gives me chills. Gives me chills to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. That's pretty. It is cool.
I like being noticed, man. Like I went to an Italian festival up in Fort Lee a couple weeks ago, and some girl, I was wearing my Rahway, well, not my stage Rahway jersey, a different Rahway jersey I got, and some girl comes running up to me, and she points to my shirt. And she's like, "I love that band," and then she just runs away real quick, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Do you even know who this is?" Like, I'm the singer, but like that people are also hearing us without seeing us also. So I just remember
Yeah.
that. And like my fiance looks at me, she's like, for some reason these high school girls seem to fucking love you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I
Singer.
mean, if they fucking come to some shows, I'll sign a CD for them. I don't know. We do that. We usually do that too. When we get off stage, we like to actually like meet and hang out with people, like, and take pictures with them and sign autographs and all that stuff. Like I know the one show we did at Tropicana, when I walked through the backstage and the doors opened, all of a sudden there was a lot. They were like, "There he is," and I'm like, "Holy shit, what'd I do?" And they just lined up. And I'm like, oh shit, this is like a meet and greet for them. So I'm sitting there, I'm just taking pictures, signing this picture, picture, picture. Then I finally get through there to go to the smoking section. But on the way there, I had to like do like 20 more. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Like some people don't like that shit, but yo, I love that shit. Stop me everywhere I go. I love to talk. I'm the type of guy you're gonna need chapstick for your ears when you talk to me. I got verbal diarrhea all
We
day,
usually
bro. I'll
do.
talk about anything, too.
We buy stock and chapstick for our ears actually because of Nick.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
I have
god.
a similar story. We used to have these shirts that said Rahway with a picture of us on the bottom of it. And I was working at Hard Rock in Atlantic City at the time as their PR manager. I'm walking. We had a show with Zach Wild and Steve Vai. It was like the G3 show. And I'm walking down the hallway and some guy's walking by and he's wearing the Rahway shirt. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, cool shirt, dude. And he looks at me. Then he looks at his shirt. He goes, holy shit. He goes, dude, can I get a quick picture? So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's
Love
awesome.
that.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, you guys got a little bit more time? I got a couple more
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you guys just answered my next question. Gonna ask it anyway, like an idiot. So why do this then? Why be in a band? Why not just be like bankers or open a restaurant or something? Why be in a band? Why do you do this?
Well, Jack, this is the only thing I know how to do without nobody giving me a hard time.
Just about to say the same thing. That was
Yeah.
Steve. I don't.
No, I
You guys-
actually, a while ago we were playing some shows, and then now Nick kind of said it. Every once in a while I go through some stuff where it's like either almost a life and death situation. I don't know what happens, but like that Final Destination. That's kind of me, but I'm always dodging it. And
9 lives. 9 lives.
yeah, and you know, every time I get hurt or something, I'm out of it for a little bit, but then I come back and I play and everything's great. And and like I think the last time I got like really sick, I was in the hospital for a little bit. And when he came out, we had a show. I felt fine and I was playing and I remember I haven't practiced in a little bit, but I was like okay to play a show as long as I kept it, pretty simple. And I remember I stumbled and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fuck up. But as I was playing, I did something really cool, one of those happy mistakes, and I did this thing. And when I came out of it, I was like, that's pretty badass. And then I was like thinking in my head, I was like, no matter what happens, you can't take this away from me. You know what I mean? This isn't like I'm working at a used car lot or something, and I made a mistake with the sales slip or something. You know what I mean? This is music. This is what I do. You can't tell me I'm doing it wrong. So to me, it's like this is my life, and I think I speak for my brother too. We grew up with this. This is all we know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think what's funny is that we said that Steve has 9 lives. Does that make you a pussy?
yeah, probably, yeah, probably.
All right. The thing
Damn, son.
here's the thing about the Cardenas brothers too, and I don't mean to exclude Nick from this, but like I feel like I found like my soulmates in music because like because we're around the same age, and I'm not excluding. I'm only saying this because Nick is a lot younger than us, but we're around the same age, and we all love the same thing. And we you know, I have friends I played with in the past. They're not playing music anymore. Dave and Steve still playing music, and I'm there right there with them. Like, no, you know, we're knows. And I think I said this to Steve once before. I'm like, I didn't think I would ever find, you know, a band like this where I'm at the same level as they are.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
But
Yeah.
I think Dave's more up here, and I'm like here, and Steve's like here.
So Dave's the top,
Oh my
you're the
God.
top, and
It
Steve's the
just makes
bottom.
it
Got
easier. Just makes it easier for me to get what I want.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my story is a little bit different. Like I grew up on rap and rock. My brother was a rapper who had a rap group that used to sell out like shows in like the whole like central Jersey area and everything. And I kind of learned a lot of studio stuff and music stuff from being in the studio, looking over the producer's shoulder, or this guy Tim, LS or whatever. And then like, you know, it's like I had a choice when I was younger whether I could chase money or chase awesomeness, you know, because like when I was in like first or second grade, when the internet was just coming out, they put out this program that mimics the stock market. They give you a fake $1,000 and then they check it at the end of the month. At the end of the month, you know, the teacher was like, everybody look at this. Nick made $11 million. You know, so I could have been chasing money in the stock market, day trading, swing trading, whatever, you know, and just chase that my whole life. But you know, one thing I noticed from a young age, I had a lot of people die on me. You know, like my uncle Billy, he committed suicide, rest in peace. You know, my friend Schaefer, when I was 17, 10 days before I got my license, he hung himself from a table, rest in peace. You know, I lost all these people along the way. There's a lot more than that, but like it made me realize how quick life can change and how you are not immortal, you are not invincible. And when I learned that, I said, well, fuck that. I'm just fucking live every fucking day, pedal to the fucking metal then. I mean, if I'm just gonna fucking one day just get hit by a car or a fucking meteorite or a volcano erupts or we go to war or whatever the hell's gonna happen, I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm just gonna chase awesome shit my whole life. You know, whatever I fucking feel is fucking awesome, I'm gonna go for it. And having, you know, when having seen my brother sell out shows, but like never get offered a contract, you know, I mean, I seen him pack a place to fire code and they never offered him a contract. So I was like, I'm not getting involved with that, you know. But what ended up happening is when I was in college, I was working as an EMT at this senior citizen retirement community, and I saw these grand pianos floating around. So I just went over there and pretended, you know, I didn't see anybody around. So I just started playing, right? And, you know, not knowing anything about piano. And all of a sudden I stop and I look around, there's like 100 people surrounding me, clapping and going crazy. I'm like, they're just doing that because I'm in a uniform, you know, or whatever. And I do it more and more. And all of a sudden, these people that have been playing their whole lives, they come up to me. They're like, yo, kid, like, do you know what you're playing? And I'm like, no. They're like, you have some crazy dexterity and agility in your hands for you to do all that stuff that you're doing. You should probably consider learning, you know, what you're playing. So I'd switched majors in college. And that was around the time when I was like, you know, at that time I was in like 4 bands and doing all this crazy shit. And that's around the time that, you know, DC hit me up and was like, yo, he's like, how'd you like to audition for a fully loaded band? And I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go, you know, like, because in my mind, everyone kept telling me, do what you love, do what you want to do, follow your dreams. Well, I tried that shit for a little while and it didn't get me fucking anywhere. So I was like, you know what, fuck everyone else, fuck all you gaslighters. I'm gonna do what someone else tells me to do and see how that fucking works out, right? So once I auditioned and they were like, yo, you're in, bro. You know, I pretty much like whatever songs were already there, I sang whatever the hell they wanted or needed me to sing. I just, you know, jump how high, you know, that kind of shit. And you know, as we kind of meshed more and more, all of a sudden I'm involved in the writing process and boom, you know, here we are. You know, it just kind of morphed and evolved to this, you know.
Yeah. Well, all right, great stuff.
Chapstick, anyone?
Chapstick.
That was great,
New
Nick.
stage name.
sorry you guys aren't really comfortable with each other, and you guys can't really bust each other's chops and get that's sarcasm. So all right, I got two more. I'm gonna do a kind
you
of serious
okay?
one.
You said you have a tumor? Oh, two more. Oh,
Two
gotcha.
more.
Oh
Yes,
my God!
yes,
Stop
yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Too much chapstick.
Thanks for bringing that up, Nick. No, but I got two more. Number two more questions. One of them's good. This next one's serious, and then we'll get to more New Jersey stuff, more ball busting. So, next one is this life, the music life and life on this planet is hard. So what did really for each one of you guys about this, what is your advice for people who are kind of in despair, who are kind of depressed and like I don't see any point in going on. What is your advice? What advice do you give people to keep going? Sorry, it's
No, that's a
Man, I
that's
have
a
an
hard
answer. I'm
one,
just
man.
letting them talk first.
Go ahead.
Dave, you go.
I want to comment, but I can't because I'm going through shit like right now, and so I'm relying on other people to help me get through it.
Yeah.
But I know that when other people come to me or have in the past, all I can do is give them words of hope. You know, um, a lot of people don't like to talk about God, but you can't let that light of God shut out. That light shuts out, and there's nothing, and then that's
Yeah.
you're hopeless. You got to leave some kind of light in there, and you gotta trust in God and listen to good music that pulls people out of bad situations, your head, your mind. Um, love on one hand, that'll pull you out of a drowning situation, but then again, sometimes it's love that puts you in the drowning situation. So
Yes.
go stream Rahway Drowning. That's all I got on that one.
All right. Nick, why
Well,
don't
I
you
mean, I got something. If no one else has anything, I'll go. Because me, I've got tons of things to say. So I like to think about things like this. So if you're complaining about everything else under the sun and it's affecting you, then that means that you're not thankful or grateful in the least for the things that you already have. Sometimes you have to remind yourself of what you have. Like even if it's just something you've gained in 5 years, think about 5 years ago, things that you wanted that you were working towards and how you got them now. Also you have to think about this, like life is life is an STD that's 100% fatal. No matter what, we're all going to die one day. So the thing is this, there's nothing you
Steve's
could do to
not.
stop that.
Steve's not.
And yeah, but realistically, if you're taking life like too serious, know that one day it ends and it'll be in 1,000 years as if none of us ever existed. But then on the other side, if you're not taking life serious enough, you got to be like, hey, how many summers I got left, And the other thing is there's a silver lining to everything. Like everything can always be infinitely worse. Like, so sometimes like I'll play this game called Shut the Fuck Up. And it's basically like, hey, do you have two legs? Okay, then shut the fuck up. Do you have two arms? Shut the fuck up. Can you see? Can you breathe? All this stuff. Like, and as long as you are breathing and you are you have you still have a chance to do something in this life. Like there's people who have no arms and legs that are still finding ways to be happy and survive. And look at, I mean, this is a really terrible, terrible thing I saw on social media, but they said, hey, listen, crackheads are really broke, but they find a way to get that money for that crack. Don't be out hustled by a crackhead. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what? If it comes down to a relationship that's bothering you, well, you know what? There's like, I don't know, billions of people on this planet, and there's all different types of all different walks of life. And if you want something you've never had before, sometimes you got to do some shit you never done before. Maybe you got to get outside your comfort zone and learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and find that person. Maybe you need to break some of your locked up mentalities that cage you to who you are living in the past, and actually say, you know what, maybe this time I'm going to give this type of guy or girl a shot, or maybe I'll be a little bit more open to this and that, and it's like, and a lot of times people will give up on life, and take the easy stupid way out when there's so many things that could be waiting right around the corner for you. For all we know, you could have a savior coming to help you. Wait, I mean, we all know that, like, hey, no one's coming to save you, but at the same time, you
We
don't know
are.
what
We
life's gonna
are.
throw you. Yeah, well,
We're
Rahway
coming to
will.
save you.
If you're really in that much pain, you don't want to hit up 988. You don't want to hit up your mom or somebody. Hit us up. We talk back. We're not like these other rock stars and stuff that glad hand you, rock star you, whatever you want to call it, and just, oh, you're just a peasant, get out of here. No, man, we're all human beings just like you. And that's why we're raw. That's why we get up there and just have fun, kick ass. We like to talk to people at the shows. Shit, you might even find me right next to somebody in the audience watching the main act going crazy. Like, I just like to have fun. Most of us like to have fun and be happy and do that. And getting out into one of our shows is the best way to do it. So, you know what? Maybe if you're sad and depressed with how things have turned out, come to a Rahway show. Maybe you'll meet your next wife.
Must be nice to be young. Must be really nice to be young.
Hey, man, I ain't that young.
Tim, I guess is that you taking the talking stick? You have a thought on this?
Who, me?
Who are we talking to?
Tim, I don't know if you or whoever wants to go next.
I actually missed the question because.
Oh. Well, you have with you like a perfect thing to be joyous and excited about. It was kind of, what advice do you give people who are kind of stuck in a bad spot? That's what advice do you give people to get out of a dark spot?
I usually try to stay away from those people. So I like to live my life around laughter. So I like to make fun of people and have people make fun of me. And I just that's why Steve and I, when we get together, we used to do the Chigger and Steve show. We just like to make people laugh. And I think Steve, same way. I worked in radio for a very long time, so everything out of my mouth is something that just makes someone laugh. So if someone came to me with a problem, look for someone else to talk to. I'm the worst. I'm the worst when it comes to stuff like that.
Could I say something?
Please, yeah.
No,
don't say anything.
No, you can't.
No.
There's no guarantees in this world, and you're not entitled to anything, but you're in charge of yourself, and you're definitely in charge of your own happiness, and if you're not going to be happy, nobody's going to get you happy. You know what I mean? It's like you sit around, if you're a miserable SOB, and you're just sitting around thinking like, you're going to have this awesome time and somebody's going to come around and make you laugh. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Because that person probably already came by it and tried to make you laugh and you didn't laugh, and it's, and I'm in this, I'm kind of along the same lines as Tim. It's like, I'm a pretty big goofball, and I'm a goofball because I choose happiness, over everything else. And no matter what my situation is, I always choose happiness. I rather laugh than sit there and be miserable any day of the week, and no matter what happens, you always got to remember, you're not entitled to nothing. There's no rules saying that you're allowed to walk. You know what I mean? Or you're allowed to go to the bathroom like a regular person. There's nothing saying any of these things. You're just doing it. So if you're doing it, maybe just shut the F up and go read a comic book or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's all I got.
Going off of that, like, I feel like another thing is that people don't realize that they've got like this. I call it the anti. Like, you ever talk to somebody and you bring up an idea and they're immediately against it without hearing any of the details, how it would work, any of that stuff.
No,
I feel that a lot
that's
of people
stupid.
have that wall up and they
That's
won't let
stupid,
that
Nick.
person come by and pick them up. You know what I mean?
That's stupid, Nick.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, go on, please. That was really smart.
Oh my God, that was the best thing.
Shit, he's part of the family now. Yeah, Jack.
Sorry, Nick. That was I'm being an a-hole, and you're giving
Nick, that was real stupid.
Yo, we're all from Jersey, aren't we? No, I'm just kidding. Jersey was actually voted on one of these stupid social media things. It was voted as one of the places that it was the #1 place people moved to and said they regretted moving to.
Yeah.
But no, I'm that was really good, Nick. I'm just being a Jersey guy. It's the Jersey. You guys bring it back out at me. So no, if you don't let me get in your way. If you have more to say on
No,
that,
no, no,
please.
no, no, no. That was
No,
perfect.
I'm pretty sure everybody's got other things to do. If you keep letting me talk, I'll keep talking, and it'll be, I'll just be spewing off stuff, and pretty soon it'll all sound like Dod Gam, Sock Hucking, Bun of a Sitch, and Father Mucking, Fuck Buckers, and all sorts of weird
Well,
shit. You know what I mean?
I'm
Anything
sorry,
else you
Nick.
want to know?
What'd you say, Nick?
Oh, nice.
So I actually got a question that was given to me, and it was for Nick, but I'm going to ask it of everybody. So I'm going to read it off. So, if your band was forced to swap instruments mid-show with no rehearsal, who would completely crash and
Oh,
burn first, and why?
oh,
Depends which instruments. Can we get would Chig be playing guitar? Because he might have an idea as to where things go, because him and Dave lock up on certain root notes. So he might be able to kind of finagle through it. But as far as drums, I don't know. I mean, I have a little bit of drumming experience, so I might be able to hold time at minimum. So I might not crash and burn there.
yeah.
Um, as far as I mean, actually, you know what? If I was on guitar or bass, yeah, I would crash and burn straight. Because I don't the stuff Dave plays. I mean, he plays some stuff that like riffs that are what's the word, chromatic and stuff, where it's not in the key. It's like he borrows notes from other and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, we had somebody cover for him one time in the past 10 years, and the guy had to show up to like 3-4 different rehearsals just to be like, yo, what the fuck are you playing in
Yeah.
stone? Like, it's
Yeah.
it's wild. So I think
Yeah,
if
nice
any of us
afro.
had
Yeah.
to play Dave's parts,
Yeah, nice
You know,
afro.
I think we're like, we play the instruments we play for a reason, because we're good at it. It's like, I could play guitar, but nowhere near what Dave plays. I play more a cheese down version, just enough to be able to write a song. And usually if I write a song and I bring it to Dave, he usually hates my guts, because the guitar I'm playing is so cheesy. It's like, it's like way underneath him, to be playing what I'm playing. So
Oh, do
Steve,
yeah,
you
you would
no.
do
play the
better than
wooden
all of us.
box?
You
The
would do
wooden
better
What?
than
box?
all of us, though, Steve. You would do better than
What's that?
all of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
because you
I
can sing,
agree.
you can play guitar.
He'd be able to bumblefuck his way through all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yep.
He could sing, he
Uh,
could play guitar somewhat, and he plays drums. So you're the only one. You're the jack off of all trades.
Yeah,
the jack off,
you're just a jack off.
Yeah,
the
you're
jack
just a
off.
Master
jack off.
debater is none.
I could
You're
probably only play the bass and get away with it. I can't play more than, I think, 30 seconds of solid drums on one beat, and then I just fall apart. And I can't sing. I think seagulls squawk better than I do.
same.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
I
guys,
don't know. I
listen.
mean, Rocket Ship. Yeah, you sang that pretty good when you went, because Dave helped write the hook and a lot of the meat and potatoes of Rocket Ship. And when he came up to me, he's like, "Let's look at the moon," and he was singing that shit. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Damn, Dave." Dave just doesn't have confidence in his singing voice. He doesn't want you to know that he's a songbird of his generation.
Songbird.
Nice. All right. Well, so Rahway, everyone. This is Rahway, the band out of Jersey. Again, great straight ahead rock and roll. Definitely on the rise. Definitely. I want to thank you guys all for joining us. What this is actually, I guess I'm sneaking in one final question, but tell everyone what you guys have coming up, and any other parting words of wisdom, whatever you want to take, and it's for whoever wants to take it.
We got a show in Bethlehem coming up, opening for Dorothy at Music Fest Cafe in September, and then we also have a 10-date tour with Scotty Austin happening in January. Just to promote this, we got to promote the CD a lot. So we appreciate you, Jack, for having us on and helping us get the word out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent. And thanks, Larry Jones, actually, for putting this together. And all right, thank you guys.
That jerk off.
Jack, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Rahway the band. All right, I'm gonna pause recording. Giant fingers coming in.